Welcome to Pillow Talk Pleasure Conversations. And in this lesson, we're talking about the foreplay, because I know how important it is, of course, for us ladies and gents to make sure that we understand what our foreplay is about, and to, of course, have that conversation about that foreplay. So let me tell you, of course, we all know that foreplay, of course, usually occurs before the intercourse. We know that, yes. So make sure that you keep that in mind as we go throughout this entire lesson. So with that, we all know that, of course, well, some of you all may not know, but foreplay can, of course, include different things like kissing, touching, sharing different fantasies, talking about erotica, different things like that. It includes a lot more, and I'll get into some of those steps farther along in this video. But just keep in mind that it includes a lot of different things, that whatever you all consider your foreplay, that's what it can include as well. But make sure you have the conversation first. The purpose of foreplay is to add sexual excitement, especially for women, in order to help our bodies, us women, a woman's body, prepare for the sexual intercourse by increasing the vaginal lubrication. Yes, that is what foreplay is for. Of course, I mean, that's one thing that foreplay is for. Another thing that foreplay is for you all to, of course, be adventurous and, of course, feel those pleasures and be in the moment and that kind of thing as well. Is, of course, to heat your partner up and to get things going, that kind of thing as well, man or woman. But like I said, a lot of the purpose for foreplay is to get that woman revved up so that her juices down in her vagina can start flowing, to make the intercourse, if you all move it to sex and intercourse, to make that a lot better when the penis, of course, or dildo, wherever you're entering into her body, is entering. It'll definitely make it a lot better, I'll put it that way. And just keep in mind that, of course, with foreplays, I do want to let you all know this, especially those in heterosexual relationships. Just keep in mind that, fellas, just because your penis gets hard does not mean that the woman is set and ready to go. Our bodies do not work that way. Our bodies have to be warmed up, and they have to be, of course, lubricated appropriately. Just keep in mind, fellas, that when you're inserting a penis into a dry vagina or a vagina that's not ready yet, that you're, of course, hurting that woman. She may not tell you this. I'm telling you this, because I've been hurt like this before. Like I said, it does not feel good when you're trying to force something into a hole that's not even lubricated. It actually tears some of our skin on the outer part of our vagina and the inner parts of our vagina as well, making our body down there more susceptible to infection and all those types of things. So please keep in mind that when you're inserting your penis and trying to rush things along, your woman is usually not ready, unless you all been doing foreplay all day and she was already ready to go and she was already wet. But if not, like I said, you definitely have to warm her up. So just don't force yourself inside of her, whether she's saying she's ready to go or not. Just keep in mind that if it's hard to get your penis in there, it's hurting her like hell. Just keep that in mind. And just also keep in mind, when you constantly, of course, are inserting your penis in a woman, that kind of thing, and it's hurting, at some point she's not going to want that sex at all, because nobody wants to feel that every single time that you're not taking your time, I guess, to get her warmed up, so it can be a lot better for her and a lot more comfortable for her. So keep that in mind, y'all. I'm just making sure that you all know that, because I know us women sometimes, I am one that, of course, tells my partner, but a lot of women out there are scared to have this type of pleasure conversation. That's why this video is so important, so that you all can know what us women are experiencing. And of course, we can know what the men are experiencing as well when it's time for foreplay, sex, and all those types of things. That's why Pillow Talk Pleasure Conversations exists, y'all. But like I said, I definitely want to make sure that you all knew that. Back on track now. Foreplay can be the best part of sex, whether you actually have intercourse or not. Like I said, you definitely don't have to have sex or penetrative intercourse after foreplay. You all could just enjoy the moment, of course, enjoy the pleasures and that kind of thing, and not even go to sex. Like I said, just keep that in mind. It doesn't always have to lead to sex. And a lot of times, if you're just wanting that intimacy, that closeness, and of course to have some fun and some adventure, like I said, foreplay is definitely a great thing for that as well. Just keep that in mind. And just keep in mind, for those women who do not, because a lot of women, just fellas, I'm speaking to y'all again, because a lot of women may not have told you this, or your woman may not have told you this, but many women, I believe the statistics is like between 65 and 70%. Actually, I think it's higher than that. But a lot of women do not actually orgasm from penetrative sex, with your penis going in and out of her vagina. It takes clitoral stimulation for that to happen. So like I said, that's why foreplay is very important. Like I said, in order for a lot of women to, of course, come and have an orgasm, they have to have that clitoral stimulation, not just you thrusting in and out of her vagina, that kind of thing, to make her come. Sometimes women can, of course, come from that, but just keep in mind the clitoris has to be stimulated in order to give her that mind-blowing orgasm that you will get every time that you put your penis in our vagina. We don't get that every time. You have to make that happen, I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that's why foreplay is greatly important. During the foreplay, of course, yes, let her come all she wants, that's fine. Because the more she comes, the wetter her vagina gets, and the easier it is for you to put your penis into her vagina. So keep that in mind, so that she won't be ripping and tearing any tissues down there at all, or causing any kind of infections for her. So keep that in mind, y'all. Clitoral stimulation. Men, like I was just saying, some men may not, of course, take foreplay seriously and think that it's a waste of time, it's taking too long, and that kind of thing. But just keep in mind that your woman needs to be warmed up. A man's penis don't take but a few minutes to get hard if he's already looking at sex or thinking about sex or that kind of thing. We can think about it all we want as women, but of course it takes us a little while to, of course, get the juices down there flowing. It's not that we're just trying to hold off sex and don't want to have sex with you. It could be some of the case, I have no idea, but majority of the time, in my mind, it's because the woman is not ready yet. Our bodies it could take 30 minutes, it could take an hour of foreplay. I have no idea. It just depends on your woman. But just keep in mind that men, the foreplay is greatly important. You may not look at it as being important because you're ready to go, you're ready to fuck and all these things, but her body is not ready yet. Like I said, her mind may be ready, yes, that's something totally different. She can feel horny, feel those hormones and that kind of thing, but when it comes time to insert the penis, if she's not wet enough, you're going to rip some parts down there, rip some of her tissues and make it uncomfortable for her. So you have to get her wet first, gentlemen. Like I said, it's not a waste of time. It's not just because she's being funny, or it's not just because she's trying to hold up the process. It's because she has to get wet first fully, and hopefully she knows her body good enough, or you can feel down there for her, whichever the case may be, to make sure that she's wet, just not just on the outside. We know that happens all the time, but the inside has to be properly lubricated as well, y'all. Just keep that in mind. So it's not a waste of time, fellas. It's warming her up for the sex. Again, like I said, don't rush this process in 2 minutes. Both people need to be warmed up and in the mood. And like I said, your ladies may take longer than 2 minutes, I'm sure, to get warmed up and get her vagina ready for the mood. So let's keep that in mind. Even though her mind is saying she's ready, her vagina may not be ready to, of course, have that penis inserted. So let's keep that in mind. I know some folks say foreplay is not better than penetrative sex and that kind of thing. To me, they're both on the same level. They're both, of course, parts of sex. One of them is just called foreplay and one is just called penetration. They're both very important tasks, important things that you do have to do. And, of course, participate in if you're wanting the sex to be mind-blowing and that kind of thing, and wanting her to be wet and all these kind of things, too. Make sure that you keep foreplay on the same level as penetrative sex. Neither one is better than the other. So let's keep that in mind. And also, just keep in mind also that, of course, people get turned on by knowing their partner's having fun too. So, gentlemen, if you're going into the foreplay and you're like, this is not even important, why should I do this? This is a waste of my time, I just want to fuck now, that kind of thing. Just keep in mind that she can get that vibe from you, or whoever, or a lady's doing this to their man. Men also know that when a woman is not very interested in having sex or doing the foreplay or whatever it is, if you're not interested, maybe you all need to take a break and talk about it and figure out what's going on, and don't just force the situation. Folks can tell when you're not so much into the sex or whatever it is that you all are doing. So keep that in mind. And I know you're probably wondering what in the world is the pleasure conversation around foreplay. I'm about to get into that right now, y'all. Just keep in mind that there will be a part 2 to this video. Just keep that in mind. It'll be labeled probably foreplay part 2. But like I said, it'll definitely be another foreplay video, because there's a lot of things that I want to go over with you all. Some things that you all can think about. Some things that you all can, of course, conversate about those things as well. And there's some things that you all can try in the bedroom when it comes time to foreplay and that kind of thing. So like I said, this is video number 1, but there will be a number 2, y'all. And I don't know how many I'll get through on here. I would say about 10. So just keep that in mind. The other parts will be on the other video. Number 1, the first thing that you want to do whenever it comes to foreplay is to, of course, ask your partner what turns them on. You won't know if you never ask. So you always have to ask and communicate to your partner about what turns them on and what they would love to have you do. Like I said, definitely just ask them. That is always the first thing when it comes to any type of sex, foreplay, anything that you're doing, is to actually communicate about it, y'all. Number 2, making sure that you're sexting throughout the day. Sexting is, of course, those sexy text messages that you send starting off in the morning. Or, honey, I can't wait to get you in the bed to rub you all down and lick your vagina, or whatever it is, or to suck your penis, or whatever it is. Like I said, make sure that you're sending those erotic text messages throughout the day. starting as soon as y'all get up. I don't care if she's in the house or he's in the house getting dressed. Send that message saying, I can't wait to suck your dick later on. I bet you he'll be looking forward to it later on. Or send her a message saying you can't wait to, of course, give her the mind-blowing orgasm. I bet she'll be looking forward to that all day long. So like I said, you definitely have to start off. That is called mental foreplay, y'all. Mental foreplay. I know a lot of people, especially women, of course, get off on mental foreplay. We're thinkers. We love to be in our head all the time and that kind of thing. And if you're putting sexy stuff into our head, gentlemen, just give you a hint. Like I said, that will definitely keep your woman's motor going all day long. I guess with her fantasizing and thinking about it and thinking about the last time that you gave her an orgasm, whatever it was, sending her back to those moments and, of course, let her feel that again. So like I said, definitely keep that in mind when we're talking about foreplay. Foreplay is A1, y'all. Number 3, add temperature play into the mix. Temperature play, of course, is when you're talking about using ice cubes and like what is it called? The massage oil candles and that kind of thing. You can either use an ice cube, put it like in between your teeth or your lips or your fingers, just like run it down his or her body and see if they like that. Like I said, well, first I would say ask if they like cold stuff on their body or if they like warmer stuff on their body. And then, of course, if they do like the cold, take it in between your teeth or like I said, your fingers like this, just run it down the body. You don't have to go to like the breast or the penis or that kind of thing at all. Our body has all types of erogenous zones, y'all. So just play with it and see how he or she likes it. And of course, if it's the warmth, if you have your massage candle, of course, let that candle warm up for about 10 minutes and have the flame flickering. And then, of course, blow it on out. And then, of course, start playing with the oil. You can either rub it into your hands or pour it straight onto your partner's body, whichever one that they prefer, but definitely ask them. Like I said, definitely think about foreplay. Sometimes you can do those two things during foreplay as well to help extend the time as well. And to, of course, get the bodies all heated up. Number 4, take your time, y'all. When it comes to, of course, getting ready, I guess, foreplay and that kind of thing, and whichever the case may be, make sure that you're taking your time and do a little striptease for your partner. Taking your clothes off slow and all that kind of stuff, taking your jewelry off and letting it slide down your body and that kind of thing. Like I said, be creative. And like I said, take your time with things. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the striptease and, of course, letting them know what you want and talking all sexy, moving sexy. If you know how to dance, then dance for them, that kind of thing as well. Do that. Like I said, the gentlemen can do the same thing as well. I know y'all have all seen like movies like Magic Mike and stuff like that. Guys, if you haven't seen it, go out there and figure it out and look at it. And you can do some of the moves for your ladies at some point. So just keep that in mind. Number 5, get wet together. This is not, of course, you can, of course, get your vagina wet together, I'll put it that way. But, of course, a man doesn't have a vagina to get wet. But this one is actually talking about the shower or a bath. Making sure that you all are taking a sexy bath or a shower together. That's what get wet means. By candlelight, have some music playing, y'all. Trust me. And rubbing on each other, of course, all that touching and all the intimacy, getting close and that kind of thing, washing each other off and of course, cleaning each other up and that kind of thing, that is intimate. And like I said, that's how you find other erogenous zones as well, so keep that in mind. Number 6, you can always wear sexy underwear, y'all. Sexy underwear, of course, will definitely help you feel sexier throughout the day, ladies and gents. They have all types of underwears from thongs to, of course, boy shorts to, of course, the regular man's tight briefs. And the ladies like see-through underwear, crotchless underwear. They have all types of stuff. Like I said, definitely get out there and start experimenting with things and see how it feels in your body. I know, of course, when I wear stuff like that, I feel sexy all day and that kind of thing. So, ladies and gents, get that sexiness flowing, of course, starting in the morning when you're getting dressed and stuff like that. To start using and putting on some sexy underwear, y'all. Sexy underwear, and the girls for the ladies' bra as well. And for those who don't want to have underwear on, go commando then. See how that feels for you. I'm sure that will get your juices flowing down there as well, I'll put it that way. Number 7, I was talking about the massage oil earlier, so definitely you can also use that oil, like I said before, to give an erotic massage. Like I said, that's relaxing and it teases, and of course, make sure that you're stimulating all the senses with music and lighting. Like I said, use that candle to, of course, have, I guess, to be like your light for the night. Or for that evening. Have that, like I said, candles set up around the room. You can see like your body's like on the wall moving. That's also erotic. So let's keep that in mind, y'all. And like I said, soft music and that kind of thing playing, that always gets people in the mood too. Use all the senses, y'all. Use all the senses. Number 8, focus on enjoying all the good pleasure. Like I said, don't just be in your head thinking about all these other things going on, what you got to do later on, washing dishes. I know us women, of course, very guilty for that and not being able to stay in the moment, of course, just focus on the pleasure at that time. Foreplay is definitely something for you to help focus on the pleasure, not just be thinking about tomorrow, thinking about the kids, thinking about this or that. focus on you and your partners. I guess the pleasure that you all are receiving and giving. Like I said, both people, when you're having foreplay, both people want to know if you're in the mood. Of course, if your partner senses that you're not in the mood, that is a turn off. So like I said, definitely make sure that you stay out of your head and focus on your partner and the pleasure that you all are receiving. So P&P, partner and pleasure. So make sure y'all remember that. Number 9, take it easy at first and go slow and gentle. Like I said, don't go straight for the clitoris. Too much stimulation, fellas, on the clitoris can, of course, cause your woman to, of course, not feel anything or it hurts. So keep that in mind. Like I said, definitely take time. There's other parts down there. Take time to, of course, rub the clitoral hood instead of just the head all the time, just going straight for the middle and that kind of thing. Make sure that you look at, take your time as far as oral sex as well. Like I said, the clitoris responds to, of course, on and off being teased. I know a lot of women may not tell you that or may not even realize that themselves, but of course start teasing. Suck a little bit, then stop. Play with something else down there. Play with the breast or do something else or kiss her. Then go back down, of course, suck and lick, and then just stop again. Like I said, just tease her. I'm sure she'll go wild with that. Trust me, y'all. And the same thing with the penis. Take your time, ladies and gents, when you're going down on your man with the penis and that kind of thing. Don't just go straight for the tip of it or the head of his penis. There's balls down there. There's a shaft down there. There's perineum down there. There's the anus down there as well. Make sure that you're, of course, talking to your man, whether he likes to have his anus played with or that kind of thing. If not, leave it alone. But like I said, definitely make sure that you realize that the shaft and the balls are down there for you to, of course, lick, suck on, grab on, that kind of thing as well. Whatever your man likes, just ask him for one. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and stop here, y'all. That was number 9, so I'll continue the rest in the next video. But like I said, I hope you all have enjoyed so far. This is Pleasure Conversation. Well, this is Pillow Talk. Pleasure Conversations Foreplay video number 1. So check out number 2, y'all. It's coming shortly.